I'm live. Good morning, you guys, and welcome. Welcome back to our old time on Sundays at 10 a.m. for Growing Gratitude. You guys got to bear with me today. I got to tell you, I'm in shit shape. Okay. Definitely feels better on Sunday. Good morning, Burnett. It definitely feels better on Sunday morning. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about Sunday morning that feels like gratitude should be the shit on Sunday. So I am going to get my stuff together for half an hour every Sunday, even though I'm probably going to be exhausted as I am now, and just say, you know what? This is our gratitude time. I can do it for half an hour. You guys have seen me in my worst shape, so it doesn't matter. And we're just gonna do it because it's got to be done. And when I do it at a time that feels real to me and true to me, I have the energy for it. It like works better, right? I believe in it. I want to say like I'm in it when I'm doing it. When I'm shoving it in and all the times that I'm tired, which is part of the reason I was considering not doing it at all, I just don't have the energy for it. So we're going back to Sunday morning because that's when it feels true to me to be doing my gratitudes. And so I think that helps. And a lot of you guys missed me on Sunday morning and have been doing your gratitudes on Sundays. And so back to our schedule, we have returned. So I'm excited to say that going forward, every Sunday, 10 a.m., back to old gratitude time. Well, let's get into it, right? So here I am on my spot. Literally, I'm in my Sheldon spot because when I am out of spoons entirely, my behind does not leave my Sheldon spot ever. And so here we are, and I'm in my food. Do you guys remember this thing from last year? Okay, it has lots of holes in it now, and it's been kind of destroyed by the animals because I've had it for a year. I love this thing so much. It's called what was it? A Huggle, I think, or a Snuggle? No, a Huggle. And I got it at Walmart, and it was like $20, and I can wear it all winter long outside in Colorado in the mountains, and I am flicking warm. It's like having a blanket on, and it's so cozy. It is, Burnett. It's so comfortable. So good morning, Burnett, Morgan, CV. Burnett, it's so great to have you, and Bernard. And I am. See, it works for all of us. It works for us to do this on Sunday, and so here we are. Um, yeah, I'm in my little cozy huggle because this is my reality right now. The dogs let me sleep a little bit later, which is amazing. That doesn't usually happen. And so I feel semi-human and I feel cozy in my blankie and I'm on my spot and I am grateful to be here and in this condition. And that I don't have to be somewhere else and I don't have to be running around. And that when I do my channel, I am authentically myself. So I don't even have to do anything for this. I just get to come and show up. And so, yeah, you have to get one, Burnett. I swear to you. You know how when you're cozy on the couch, and I'm going to end up doing a commercial for these people. Yo, Huggle people from Walmart or whoever makes this thing, and it has a pocket and everything. Whoever does this thing, please reach out and contact me if you ever see this video or someone who works for you sees this video. I love this thing. Like I would make a fashion statement with it. When I um put it on. I legit and it's like having a blanket on the couch that you can get up and walk around in. And you know how when you're all cozied under it and you don't want to get out, you don't have to get out from under this. It's the best. Put on some cozy socks. I'm in. And I thought for sure I would never leave the house in this thing, but I got to tell you, a couple of times I've been in my PJs and had to do some runs with Antonio in the car. Don't care. It's just so warm and comfortable. I don't care what I look like. Anyway, I recommend if you live in an area where it gets chilly in the winter or fall times, or at night, if you're a person who gets cold at night when you get tired, it's like I don't even know how to express it to you. I love this thing. And if anything ever happens to it, I'm buying another one so fast I don't even care about the money. Um, and that's what I have to say about that. So I guess my first gratitude is for this stupid thing, this $20 thing from Walmart that like I love more than anything in the whole world. So thank you, Huggle. You are my first gratitude. I love you. Anyway, I am also someone where apparently and the thoughts, and I think like the thoughts about gratitude too, they just work themselves their way around on Saturday and Sunday. And so this week I have a list for you. Like it just works on Sunday. It's just the way to be. And so I'm really glad to be returning back to being able to be returning back to it. It is still my only day off, Sunday. But this is something that I started to do for myself. And so I don't consider it to be work. That's how I am justifying. Anyway, so here we are on gratitude. And I have a really big list this week, you guys. Look how big it is. It's a nice big one. And I have things to show you and talk to you about. It was just okay. So let's see. It was overall like the overarching feeling of this week was pretty crappy. I was really like not even tired. I was weary. And the word came to my head and I was like, wow, that perfectly describes how I'm feeling right now. Weary. I was feeling weary most of the week. And I was like, man, I really don't want to be heading toward, when you start to think about, oh, here's a good example. When like you get a sniffle or a sneeze and you kind of get clogged up or whatever, and you're like, oh man, I hope I'm just having allergies and it's not going to be a cold or something like that, right? Or that feeling. So that's how I was feeling this week. There was a lot of just feeling weary, just weary, and not feeling motivated and things like that. And it was, a week of a lot of like, I don't know. Maybe I hit a limit. I feel like I hit a point, and I just started to say to myself, well, fuck balls. I really hope that this feeling of weariness is literally just weariness and is not the beginning of burnout, because it started to feel like the weariness that comes with burnout. So that's the kind of week overall I had. Like every day I woke up, it was hard to get up. I couldn't figure out, I wasn't like excited to do anything this week, blah, blah, blah. Really didn't feel like showering, didn't care about getting dressed, like that feeling, just that weariness for like the everyday crap. And so when I sat down yesterday and I had some moments to myself yesterday and I was thinking about gratitude in my list and all of those things. And so when I really thought about it, I was like, you know what? The things I have gratitude for this week are like the little highlights. And I don't know how else to call it, right? Like overarching stressful week. Didn't sleep great. My stomach was being a bitch all week. I lost my appetite towards the end of the week, the last few days, which I know is an autism thing and not part of the weariness, right? Because when I get overloaded and tired and stressed, my sensory system goes blah, blah, blah. It's like it goes wackadoodles. And it becomes really hard for me to eat, like to physically have food in my mouth and chew and things like that. And I don't desire anything. Like I get down to like crackers and things like that. And so that's where I've been this week. It's been a really weird, crappy week. We had, good things happen though. And it was because of these little highlight moments, these little tiny moments of gratitude that I was able to stay motivated through the whole week. And so that's the importance of gratitude. And that's why I do it. And that was another reminder to keep doing it, because noticing those things each day was sort of a way to keep going for this week and to know that this too shall pass and all of those other things, right? Okay. So overarching shitty week. And that's why we do gratitude. The point of it is to talk about those little highlights, to acknowledge that they're happening, because those are the little things that keep us going every day, right? Okay. So that was that. Here's a little highlight. Bloop, right? So I don't know if you guys will even remember, but a bunch of you that watched this were in the first run of STL or the second or so. And so you guys might remember when I was putting together the course, and in unit 1 of the course is a lot of like, the purpose of it is to kind of figure out where you are in life and where your challenges are and what are those things, right? In unit 1. And so I have the handouts that go with it are a lot of self-assessment tools. And my biggest problem with the self-assessment tools in Unit 1 is that neurotypicals made the ones that are out there. Yes, Evie, I feel like they make that noise. I just want you to know, like when the universe deposits a highlight to me like this, like a little happiness, I feel like the universe goes, oh, I'm sorry, Beck. Bloop, like that. And it just drops a little highlight in my life. Anyway, so yeah, that's what was going on. Okay, so here I'm working on the course and I'm really unhappy with what's out there, why neurotypicals have made most of these self-assessments for autistics, right? Okay. The problem with that, well, I don't know. Do I even really need to talk about the problem with neurotypicals making autistic self-assessments? I don't think so. Is saying it out loud, the more like the idiocy of it comes out, right? Okay. And so, as you know, and I've been someone who is very focused on and very passionate about quality of life for autistic adults. That's something that I work on a regular basis. It's something that's important to me. It's one of the reasons that I did the course and all of that stuff, right? So it pisses me off that I don't have a way to do quality of life assessment or even a self-assessment of quality of life for autistics because we don't ask the right questions on the neurotypical ones. So currently in my course are the neurotypical ones because that's all out there. But I made a promise to myself. Like I made a promise to myself, and I feel like I said it out loud to the very first cohort that was taking the course. I promised myself that I would work on getting us a autistic quality of life measure and autistic self-assessment tools. And then it's going to be a process. It's going to take a long time, and I have to meet the right people, and the right opportunity has to come up because we need the research behind it in order to prove that we need one so we can get it funded and all of this big complicated stuff, right? Well, the moment has come, you guys. Funding opportunity came to be. I saw it. I found people to work with, presented my thoughts to see if they thought I was crazy. They did not. And so we put in for funding for an autistic quality of life measure, to do the research for an autistic quality of life measure. And this week, I found out that I made it through phase 1 and into phase 2 for the funding, which is super exciting. If we can get this started, you guys, I can die a happy lady. They can tell me my stomach is jacked because I have pancreatic cancer, and I will be just fine with that, as long as I've set in motion this quality of life shit. And I cannot tell you how hard it is to get the right people together and the right funding opportunity to create this space, right? So I still have phase 2 and phase 3 to go through, and I won't know until January or something like that, December or January, who actually is getting awarded. And I have a whole bunch of work to do between now and then. But it was like a sort of joke to me when I put it in. I was like, these people aren't going to fund this. They're going to think I'm fucking nuts. And so when I put it in, and I was like, yeah, I sort of was like already half expecting the rejection. So to find out that I'm making it to phase 2 with this, you guys, not only am I keeping true to myself and keeping in alignment with self and making choices that are in alignment with the life that I am wanting to build, but, right, I'm also doing this magical thing that we don't have. That I mean, I need it to make the course better. We need it to live better lives, right? And so I'm so excited. So that was my that was my first bloop, just like that, in the inbox, bloop. And so that was my number one. And I had to share that with you guys because I don't know if you guys remember that I made that promise, but I sure as shit do. And I want to make it happen for us. I need to make something big happen for us before I pass away on this planet. Because I've dedicated a lot of time and energy to autism advocacy, real autism advocacy, and I would love to leave a little sliver of history behind. But anyway, here we go. So that happened. Okay, here's the next one. So, how I told you guys on Thursdays, I started working at the vet's office, right? So on Thursdays, and it's really fun because we're all there. The only problem is when we're all there, there's no parking because we're usually just like 4 or 5 people in the office at one time. And now we're like at 10 or 8, whatever it is. And we don't have enough parking spots for ourselves. So on the days when we're like that, we kind of park off to the side and like not real parking, but we leave space for obviously for the clients to come in and park. And we park kind of often in the dirt and things like that. Okay. So this week, I ended up in my parking spot. That is now my new favorite parking spot at work. And I can't always park there because when it's just the regular of us, I have to park over where we're supposed to park. But when we're filled up, I get to kind of park over in the nowhere land. And I'm going to show you the picture of the parking spot because when I parked in it this week, I sat down for a minute and I looked out my windshield and I went, well, fuck. if this is what driving to work and parking looks like for me, I have made some strides for myself, motherfuckers. Sorry for so much cursing today. I'm very tired, and I become more and more authentic, I guess, when I'm tired. And I do naturally curse a lot. I actually pay a lot more attention to it when I'm speaking for you guys than I do in my actual regular life. But anyway, I was so proud of myself because, like, yeah, look at this situation, because I know what my old parking used to look like. No parking is pretty in New York City. I can tell you that much. And this parking, pretty. So let's see. Where is the picture? Oh, here it is. So this is legit, like no editing. It was a cloudy-ish day. Here, wait. No editing. It was a sort of cloudy, glary day. And so the sky isn't truly blue, but look at that. The mountains in the distance and it's a beautiful field. We often see deer and birds and things like that in it. And it's just like I pulled in and said to myself, whew, man, I'm just so lucky that this is what I get to see when I drive to work and park at work and all of those things. Because I've chose to create a life that feels like that to me. And so those little reminders when I pull into a parking spot and go, well, if I did not upgrade my parking spot, I don't know, right? Those are moments when I think when all the work is worth it. When it's like, oh yeah, I remember how hard it was just to get to Colorado from New York, right? And so all of that, right? So that was that moment. It was a little bloop, right? Just like that. Pulled in, parked, looked up, and just went, wow, yeah, man. Bloop, just like that. And then, wait, I lost my spot because I showed you the picture. What was after that? Oh, the hawk and the moon. Okay, so I had a very, remember you guys, who was it? It was Stevie. Stevie, you said you were grateful for your eyes, and then I think Joe is the one who said that she also says gratitude for her eyes. Well, I'm adding eyes to my gratitudes this week because I got to see some really amazing things this week. I mean, in general, I pass like 2.5 ranches on my way to work every day. I see cow. I mean, I just get to see nature and the mountains and everything on my way to work, which is really important to me. And then sometimes up here, because I've chosen to live up here, we see little magical moments of nature just happen, right? You get them. They're like little nature bonuses. And this week I had quite a few of them. And so I kind of made a little list of them. So one of the days that I left for work this week, it might have been yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. But when I got out to my car in my driveway, I turned around for whatever reason and I looked up at the sky and there was the moon almost fully whole out in the morning on a blue sky. I did take a picture, but there's no point in showing you. The moon ended up being super, super duper tiny in the picture. So you can't really tell, but it was one of those moments where it was like, oh, right. That's right. The moon is out all day long. We just don't usually see it, right? It was like that weird moment. And I was like, but damn, the moon on a bright blue sky in the middle of the day is gorgeous. And we don't get to see it very often, right? And you get to see it for whatever reason. It feels like to me when it's out in the daytime, I can see more of the details of the moon on the moon, like the surface and stuff. But I just thought, it's like a moment. It doesn't happen all the time. You think of moon, you think of nighttime. They're sure it happens, and we don't really discuss it a lot, but why don't we? That's sort of magical, right? It's magical when those few times when the moon shows up for us during the day. And it's a good reminder that it's always there, right? And so, I don't know. I just had a moment with the moon. I took a picture of it. And the other thing I did this week was spend a lot of time just literally standing outside and breathing, like big old full lungfuls, because it's like fall air out here right now, and so it's finally cool and dry, and it feels like it cleans my lungs when I take a deep breath instead of like when it's hot outside and you're breathing, you're just like, oh, everything's just hot, it's just hot. And then when I take a breath in the fall, I just feel like my lungs get cleaned out, my body feels clean, I feel fresh. I don't know what that is that the crisp air does to me, and I certainly have no idea if it happens for anybody else, but that's what happens for me. And it was just like I had a few moments of that this week, and so I just thought, wow, yeah, fall's here. I'm excited. and it feels good. It feels good to be a little chilly instead of sweating my ass off all the time, and things like that. So I had a lot of moments of just gratitude about that, just the weather changing. I guess I'll call it that. What else? So yeah, I had those moments. And then the last nature moment that I had, the last little nature bloop in my life came yesterday when a really beautiful, and I think it's a goshawk. I don't think it's a hawk, but I still have to look it up, so I'm not gonna lie. Really beautiful bird, and it just sat on the hood of our client's car yesterday outside of the vet's office. And it just sat there, and it let us all see it, and it was so close, and we all took pictures. It was just really magical. The client too, everybody, because the hawk was just so close. We could see all the details, and usually you don't see a hawk sitting still that close where you can catch all the details. Usually they're far away or high up, or they're flying, and all you're seeing is the underside. So it was really, really beautiful. And I will show you those pictures because look at that. So I was just walking. I don't know if you can see. Okay, you could just see the bird on the truck, right? Okay, so I was literally walking by the window, as you can see, and I was just doing my thing, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I quick took a picture, right? Because I was like, oh, that bird's gonna fly away. Got closer, took a picture, got closer, took a picture. And then I actually got some really cool shots of this bird really up close. So let's see. Well, that's the moon picture. Oh, you can kind of see the moon, kind of. Let's see. Here's this hawk. Look at this hawk. This is a great one. I'll just show you that one. Can you see it? I mean, it just sat there, and it let us take pictures of it. And I gotta tell you, that is not something that I get to do every day. Just beautiful. I love big birds. I think that the large birds are just epic, and they're amazing, and the things that they do, and the way that they fly, and the way that they work together and don't, and all kinds of things. Just, I think big birds are amazing. So thank you to nature and all of that for all of this beauty this week, all of this just exceptional, true beauty this week, right? So it was, I mean, really amazing. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Okay. So, and then my last gratitude kind of is about something I've talked a little bit about before, but it's just continuing to happen, and I feel like I need to acknowledge it again. And so, something that I found as an adult I truly enjoy is watching other people who I've either supported or given advice to or just loved for a very long time, whatever it is, succeed. I love watching other people's success. I just think, especially when I see someone grow out of their own fear and experience success from that. I don't know. And that, like, if I had any part of any pushing or whatever, I just get goosebumps, and I love it so much. And I think that's why I do it. I like doing what I do because I love giving you guys little nuggets and then seeing you run with it and have these successes, and your successes just motivate me to do it more. And so watching Antonio step into himself and kind of grow his dream, create it, grow it, find the people to help him make it, has been really, really, it's exhausting, but incredible, right? And so, thank you, Burnett. I'm so glad to have helped you. It really does. It makes me so happy when I see people just blossom, right? They get to grow into themselves. And that's what's happening for Antonio right now in this really beautiful way. I mean, it's exhausting, and we're frustrated, and we're stressed about money and all of those things. But legit this weekend. So before we moved to Colorado, so we're talking like 4 years ago, back when we were just dating, we used to talk about how much fun it would be. Well, he used to talk about how he wanted to open his own place and he wanted to serve food to people. He didn't want it fancy. He wanted to do like, not necessarily a restaurant, more like a deli, but he really wanted to be serving food to people. And when we talked about it, it was sort of that same pleasure that I get from watching other people succeed. He sort of gets from making food and watching other people enjoy it, right? We talked about that. We both had or have a love of board games in a very serious way. And we've had a large collection between the two of us for quite some time now. And so the other part of the dream was, how beautiful would it be to get out of New York and live in a small country town and open a little board game cafe? And that's our little simple life, right? It's happening, you guys. We said it out loud. We talked a lot about all the details in between. We never really let it go. And we're here. We did it. And this weekend, as in yesterday, last night, we had our very first board game night at the coffee shack. And people came and they played for the 4 hours and they had a lovely, beautiful time. All the lighting we put up looks great. And we've kind of moved the tables and moved in to the space. And now it looks like ours and it's cozy. And maybe one day I'll take you over there at night and I'll make a little video of kind of what it looks like at night and how different it is, because it's a space that has never been used at night before. And so watching all of this go down for him has been amazing. And then on top of it, this week, he found somebody to help him cook in the truck so we can have the truck open more days. Oh my God. And so that was another really big breakthrough and now he's trained somebody, has somebody working under him, helping him to build his dream, helping him to cook his food. You guys, I'm just so excited for him. I can't even tell you. Like, that excitement isn't going to go away. I took a picture, but I don't know how good it came out because I didn't really look. So, excuse me. So that's me sitting outside of our little cafe. And if I zoom in, it was like still before sundown. I'm going to zoom in. And can you see the person? There's another person behind this wood piece. There's another person sitting there across from them at the table, playing video games, eating sandwiches in our place. And I took a picture of it so that I could show Antonio so that he could have a moment of like, yeah, fuck yes. We talked about exactly this 4 years ago, laying in bed in New York. And look at it happening, right? And that's the shit I want to show you guys because that's 4 years ago. And I'm not talking about not real time 4 years. I'm talking 4 years ago. I was still living in New York City. I was still hating it. I wanted out. And here I am 4 years later, right? Sitting in a home I own in Colorado, helping my husband run a business that he owns in Colorado, doing exactly what we talked about 4 years ago. I don't know if there's a stronger way to show you guys that the shit I teach you works, because I do it, all of it. You know that, right? But that's what happens. And did it take 4 years? Fuck yes. Was it a pain the entire way? Yes. Was it painful the entire way? Yes. Were there moments and times in which I saw Antonio lose hope and which I lost hope? Yes. But we rested, we did not quit, and we continued on. And you get there, right? So that's part of the reason I think that this is so magical for me. But the other part is that watching Antonio have that realization is awesome. Awesome. So that were my, and there what, right? And again, it's delivered in this really nondescript way, and just the average way life goes about. All of these little bloops, right, were delivered in the most average Joe way. And if I wasn't somebody who was aware of the importance of gratitude, and I wasn't somebody who was willing to look around and pay attention for those moments of gratitude, even in the midst of a shitty week, I never would have noticed these things. Never. Right. And they were the little energy boost. They were like when you're playing a video game and you like eat a magic mushroom and you get a little extra energy boost, right? That's what those things are, those little bloops, right? Because they're like, oh, here's a little bit of energy to get through today. Here's another one to get through today, right? And it keeps you going until all the other shit passes. And so we have to pay attention to those things. We must, right? So other thoughts I've had this week that I just want to briefly talk about, because I think I'm going to talk about them in Being Becca Live next week, or this week rather, a few days, whatever it is. But let me just look again at what I said. Oh, right. Okay. So we had game night and whatever, and we had all this, but what happens for me is that, and I think it's a little bit of a coping mechanism, and possibly, I think I do spend a lot of time inside my head, even when I'm around other people. So even when I'm at the vet's office working, or I'm doing other things like supermarket shopping, the tendency for me, and I think it's a tendency for other autistic people too, is to be having a totally other conversation in my head, regardless of what's happening out here. Like, I'm still doing this thing, but I'm also thinking about stuff in here, right? And so I was thinking about how, holy crap, it's going to be October, like any second, right? And so, of course, I thought, oh, I have to do the newsletter at the end of the month. I have to do Asking Spectrum Women, all those things, right? But then I thought to myself, oh my God, no, it's October. Like 2022 is 2 months away, 3 months away rather. I have to start thinking about a new F word, like now, right? I couldn't believe it already. And so in that thought process, I have to say that I'm disappointed in myself in the way that I handled fun and flavor. And I don't think that I really had a chance this year to jump into it enough. And so I am reserving the right to return to fun and flavor in a few years from now, because I'm just disappointed in the way I let it play out. I feel like I didn't push hard enough for those things. But I was really, it was a busy year and we were getting back from COVID, and I don't know, I don't have any excuses. I just didn't really play by the rules this year, I guess. And so I'm reserving the right to return to fun and flavor. And I also have started to think about 2022 and what I want out of that year and what is in alignment with my current thinking and where do I want to see the course go, and do I want to see the course go anywhere? Am I done with it? What am I doing with the cafe, and do I still love the vet shop and all of those things, right? This is that time of year for reflection, you guys, to start closing up 2021 and opening up 2022 with all of its possibilities, right? So I say to you also, begin to think about your word of the year. Begin to think about what you want 2022 to be for you. What do you want to create in that year? What do you want your life to look like? So, because it's that time. And I think, then I start thinking, oh, maybe it's time for a reflection. Yeah, thank you, Taz. This year went by so fast, you guys. I mean, and sometimes years go by fast. But I don't know, like, what is it? Was it the adjusting to the new normal? Is it the half in, half out of a quarantine? What about it? About retesting the waters of social constructs? I don't know what it is, but this year just went whoop. I mean, it's freaking gone, you guys. Like, I feel like I barely paid attention. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to count on grounding myself better for 2022 and getting back at it in a little bit more of an aligned way. But yeah, and it was an adjustment year that just went just so fast, so fast. So yeah, 2022 is going to be important, I think. I kind of feel like I gave away a year a little bit. And so I want to make sure I make the use of it. So I've started thinking about F words. I want you guys to start thinking about your words of the year. Start thinking about your reflective stuff on your past, and also start thinking about what you want out of 2022. Now's the time to start making decisions that are in alignment with that, right? So that when 2022 arrives, you are on your way. So let's start doing some thinking about that. I will probably talk about this again on Wednesday. So if you come on Wednesday and I repeat myself, I'm sorry, but there are people that do not watch gratitude because I don't advertise it. And they too need to begin thinking about next year already, which is insane to me, you guys. Just insane. Crazy. Yeah. Oh, so that was my little reminder at the end for us. There was that little reminder that it's sort of the end of the year already. So I'm going to start thinking about newsletter and topics and things having to do with that, because it's time for us to wrap up 2021 and start making a list for 2022. It's that time already. So get to it, you guys. I'm about done for today on Growing Gratitude. I want to thank you again for joining me. It feels so much better to be back at our regular time doing this. I can't even tell you. So, yeah, let's get back at it. We're back at gratitude. So I hope that you guys will now take advantage of the rest of your Sunday and you will go and do your gratitudes. And make sure you do it really consciously. Write it down in a journal, go out into the woods and shout it to nature, stand in the middle of your supermarket if you must. Write it down anywhere, but make sure it's a really conscious effort to really think about those little bloops. Where are they? Where did they happen for you? No matter how shitty your week was. So make sure you do that, and then get out there and create joy, seek joy, share joy, all the joys, because now's the time to do it for yourself. No one's going to do it for you. And share them with me. I love to see what you guys are up to and doing. One of my favorite things about the closed Facebook group for the Self-Defined Living course is that we all share our little happinesses in there, and we've really learned the joy lesson about creating joy and sharing joy and seeking it out. And we do that with each other because there is joy in other people's joy. So I want you to know that this stuff works. I really don't know how else to show you or tell you that it works except to keep living it with everybody, really in a very real way. So yay for gratitudes. Get out there and do yours. Don't forget that this Wednesday, like as in Wednesday the 29th, is the Self-Defined Living Seminar Series for September. We are doing Building Better Boundaries, so go ahead and get yourself registered by heading over to beccalaurie.com. You can reach me through the contact page on there, as well as checking out all the stuff that I do on my website, including signing up for the newsletter, which is free, checking out Ko-Fi, Redbubble, reading the stuff I write, all my social media, and that fun stuff. And then I will be back here next Wednesday for the next Being Becca Live. And then, of course, next Sunday for the next Growing Gratitude. Thanks for bearing with me, you guys, as I make all these schedule changes. I truly appreciate it. Glad to be back on our regular days and regular times. I can tell you, I feel the difference already. I will see you guys out and about on the interweb. And of course, if you have a moment to sit and subscribe to this channel, if you can give me a thumbs up, make a comment, share the video, that stuff means tons. I'm really working on trying to grow this channel because I truly enjoy connecting with you guys this way. So your help in growing it would be awesome. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. I will see you out and about. And of course, you can reach me anywhere and anyhow. Just give it more than 2 seconds worth of try. And I love hearing from you, so please do it. I will see you guys on Wednesday for Being Back Alive. Have a great Sunday. Bye.